So today, whilst I was out shopping, I went to Aldi and we struck lucky. Managed to get some fresh parsley for 23p, I think it was, half price, which is absolutely fantastic. So I'm just going to show you how to chop some fresh herbs. This is obviously parsley. I'm going to do the same as what we would normally do with spinach or our cabbage or lettuce. And we're going to do the chiffonade cut, and then you can roughly chop from there, get into smaller pieces, clear the knife safely, use the back of the blade, and this will go into our fish pie beautifully. So we're also going to do the same with the spinach. Spinach was actually 60 something p, I think, so I got this whole big bag for 30p. So it's been a real bargain hunt today. Really chuffed with my purchases. So today we're going to be making fish pie. We have some normal cod, some smoked haddock and some salmon in this particular fish pie mix. And there's 300 grams here, so approximately 100 grams per portion per person. Now this was in Aldi for £2.60 something, I think it was, in the fresh section, but you can also buy it in most major supermarkets. In the freezer section you might pay a little bit more, but you will be able to take out exactly what you need for this recipe. Next we've got our mashed potato. So this is actually the innards of a jacket potato, which I did earlier. So my husband likes jackets, so we managed to put the jacket potatoes in for about an hour in the oven and scoop out the inners, and then we've got these jacket skins to have another time. We can either load them as loaded skins, or we can have them as jacket skins and double bake them with some salt and some herbs and things on. So we've got our mashed potato and we have our fish mix, and the first thing we're going to do is to poach our fish. This is a really quick recipe, guys, and I'm really pleased to be able to bring this to you today. So we're going to poach our fish now. I'm actually going to start with caramelising some onions, just to suit my family's needs. My husband doesn't actually like the texture of onion, but he knows I sneak it into many of the dishes that I do, but I get away with doing that by pureeing it. So I'm just going to saute my pureed onion. And this way we get the flavour and the aromas, and he also gets some additional fibre, perhaps without him knowing. So we're going to let that saute away now, and then we're going to add our milk and our fish, and that's going to poach for a further 5 minutes. So my onions sauteed down really nicely now, and the aromas are filling the kitchen. Lovely savoury smell in the kitchen. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour my liquor in here. So my milk is going in, and there's 300 millilitres for my 300 grams of fish. And this is because I've got quite a shallow pan and quite a large one as well, and I want to make sure that all of that poaching milk is going to cover my fish and help it cook. So I'm going to pop my fish in now. So I've got my little bits of salmon, and my cod, and that's now going to bubble away on a moderate heat until the flakes of fish flake away. So you'll know when that's cooked, because what will happen is the fish will flake with a fork, and then it'll be done. Pop the things in the bin and wash my hands. So that's starting to gently simmer now, and that fish is going to really poach through beautifully. I'm going to turn it halfway through, so a couple of minutes on one side and 2 minutes on the other until it gently flakes apart. So that's gently bubbling away now, and I've just turned the fish, so you can see it's now starting to change colour slightly and go a lot lighter. I'm seasoning with a bit of Susie salt and Percy pepper. And let it cook just for a couple more minutes. So the fish has been in now for 5 minutes. I think we're going to do a quick test. So as I said, the test for readiness is just to make sure that flakes apart with a fork. And as you can see, I don't want to break it up too much, but it does beautifully. Lovely. That's now ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out, where's my slotted spoon disappeared to? Here it is. I'm going to take out the fish so that I can create a lovely sauce for the base of my fish pie. So just had a little bit of a dish on standby there, which you can see. Just going to move the handle out of the way. There we go. So we're left with that lovely milky onion fish. Beautiful sauce. So you can see it's not quite thick enough at the moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop in a tablespoonful of flour. We're going to pop in half a teaspoon of mustard. And the mustard just helps to develop the flavour of the cheese, which we're going to pop in. So you can have any type of hard cheese at all. This particular one is Parmesan that I had in, so I'm just going to do a few shavings of Parmesan to lift that sauce and give it a little bit more depth, a bit more flavour. There we go. And in goes our fresh parsley. Probably about 2p worth there, I think. And we're going to stir around until this comes together as a beautiful thick sauce. And at this point we can test it for seasoning. So I'll get my tasting spoon ready. Yeah, it's lovely. I think you probably need a touch more pepper. And at this point I can add my spinach, let it wilt down. Just about a minute, because we're going to have a little bit more time when we pop the fish pie in the oven just to brown off the mash. That's it, lovely. Beautiful. I'm going to re-add our fish. Quick stir and divide it into our fish pie dish. Now you can have any casserole dish or pie dish would be suitable. Today I'm going to show you two different techniques to do the mash because this particular menu is for my husband and myself, and one of us is going to have piped potato and the other one's going to have the forked effect on the top. Thank you. So my fish mix has now been popped into two little pie dishes. And what we're going to do is pop our potato on top of one. So if you didn't have a piping bag or if you were in a hurry, this would be a perfect way to pop your potato on the top. The idea now is that you flatten it down a little bit. That's it. And roughly press over with a fork. So you can see some of this is running down slightly because it's slightly overfilled. The idea is that you have a rough texture on the top. Now you could add breadcrumbs or cheese to the top of that and that would look perfect. And if you're looking for higher GCSE skills, I'd be looking for you to pipe. Come back in a second. Looks like I need to do my mashed potato a little bit softer. So in true Blue Peter style, here's one I piped earlier. Unfortunately, the piping bag, whilst I was filming, decided to split because I'm using cheap plastic ones, which is the only ones I could find. So hey ho, these things happen. But here we have a fish pie with high skilled piping, and we have one with a fork effect, which will give us some lovely crispy bits on the top once they're oven baked. So I'm now going to pop it into an oven for about 10 minutes on 180 degrees Celsius, which is gas mark 4. So our pies are all out of the oven now. They've been in for about 12 to 15 minutes. I'm going to loosen that off, pop it on our plate ready. You can see they're lovely and golden brown. I'm going to serve this with some broccoli and sugar snap peas, which I had in the house. And I've just steamed those. I've just steamed those for about 3 to 4 minutes until they are al dente. Just turn them around so they look pretty. There we go. So we have dinner for one, fish pie with green veg.